There are generations who cross the border just to survive. But now there are generations who are crossing doors and who are breaking glass ceilings to lead. For too long, the real estate conversation didn't have our own stories, didn't have our last names, and didn't even have the pride to give our parents the keys of a property or nor the sacrifice behind a down payment. But today that's changing. We are joined by a group of leaders who are not just selling homes. They're building generational wealth. They are expanding access, and they're redefining what ownership means in the Hispanic Latino community. They represent NAHREP Oregon, the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professionals. It's an organization dedicated to advancing sustainable Latino ownership through education, empowerment, and advocacy. Welcome to Aquí Entre Nos.
Bienvenidos.
Gracias.
Gracias.
First and foremost, I want to thank God for having me and having us all here together, and for the people that drove from Medford.
Amen.
So thank you, God, for having us again here together. And welcome to every single one of you. Make yourself at home. This is a podcast, so let's chat. And let's begin by introducing yourselves.
Yes.
Yes. Shirley Ortega, real estate broker in the state of Oregon.
What brought you to NAHREP?
I met with Maribel, is who I met, and then she told me about NAHREP, and I told her, I was like, how do I get involved? And
Really?
I immediately got involved. I joined the board after the gala last year, and I haven't left since then. I love the community, yeah.
I'm Carlos Bucio, and I am a loan officer with All In Lending, and so I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
What brought you to NAHREP?
What attracted me to NAHREP was how positive they are. They want to see their members grow, and that's really big for me because education is key. You can't take the next step without knowing what's there. So just the people, the positivity, and the connections.
Hi, my name is Maria Andrade. I'm a mortgage loan officer with All In Lending. I'm also vice president of NAHREP Western Oregon, and I actually am a founding board member for our Western Oregon chapter. And the reason I joined Oregon NAHREP chapter is because I came back to real estate in 2022, and I was looking for an opportunity to expand my business and grow. And NAHREP offered an opportunity to network and meet new people and collaborate with like-minded professionals.
Hi, my name's Mayra Valencia. I am a real estate broker for Realty of America down in Southern Oregon, and I'm currently serving as the NAHREP president for the Oregon chapter. And there's two parts of what attracted me to join NAHREP, and the first one was for the families that I represent and I support. I see a lot of Hispanic families that work really hard to try to get to home ownership, but there is also a lot of lack of education and representation on how to become homeowners. So NAHREP really aligned with the values that I seen in being able to advocate and educate other professionals to be able to help them. So I became very passionate about that. And then the other was I lacked a lot of the connection to the support. I didn't have people that could really support me in helping the Hispanic community, and I found that within the chapter itself. So it's helped me grow in my business along the way.
Thank you so much for all of you for being here and take the time to sit down with us and explain a little bit what you do. For those
Would
who
you
don't know,
introduce yourself, please?
let me reintroduce myself. I'm Hector. Hi, nice to meet you.
And I'm Xiomara.
There you
And
go.
we are the hosts for Aquí Entre Nos.
There you
And
go.
we're also members of NAHREP and realtors.
She just
They are,
exposed
they
us.
are.
Look, why?
Because I'm so
people
proud of
supposed
it.
to just like find out with this.
With the pen. Yeah.
People supposed to like ask on the comments like, why do you have that big? But yes, we're members of NAHREP, and we are also have a real estate career, and we're enjoying not just that.
But that's not the reason why they're here. They're here because we want our community to know what is the chapter of NAHREP Western Oregon.
Yes.
Am I saying it
Yeah.
correctly?
So what is it? What is NAHREP?
What's the mission and vision? And by the way, we have the president, the current president,
Yes.
Mayra, and the vice president here today. So thank you
no. Just erase that. Women on power.
Women empowered. Yes. Bravo. Bravo.
This gentleman's so lucky to be with us.
So why don't you tell us what is the mission and vision of NAHREP for our community, for the real estate professionals, and for all of the other professionals out there? So let's start with that.
So NAHREP in general is over 40,000 members nationwide, and we have about 100 plus chapters. Oregon did not have a chapter until about 2024, 2023.
23.
Yeah, summer of 2023 we're established. And so we're the only chapter in Oregon currently. And we're
And when you say
100
Western Oregon, is just a specific part of Oregon, or is just
the reason it's called Western Oregon is because we have a majority of our board members along the West Coast, particularly in the Portland metro area, Salem, and then Southern Oregon. And so we're called NAHREP Western Oregon. We're about 119 members strong right now, and we are looking to increase our membership. We have a lot to offer to the industry professionals. And so our current president has a great mission and vision for the chapter.
Yeah, so the way we came up with Western Oregon was because there's a lot of real estate professionals across Oregon, and we have pockets of the Hispanic community along the way. So if we called it NAHREP Portland, it wouldn't really be able to fit well in the Salem area or Eugene, going down towards Roseburg or Medford. So we chose that just because it aligns with the I-5 corridor to be able to hit all of the western part of the state. And it makes it more inclusive for everybody to be able to join. We're not a big state when it comes to population like other places. Maybe Florida might have several chapters just in one small area. And so we're very fortunate that we wanted to stretch it and try to get as many people involved as possible. But our mission is pretty simple. We're just trying to advocate for home ownership among the Hispanic community, and not just to advocate it, but make it sustainable, right? And truly believing in when you become a homeowner, you're providing that stability in the homes and creating that generational wealth. So I truly believe it, and we practice it every time that we're closing a home. Now it's okay, what are the next steps to preserve that home ownership, provide the stability for your family, and let's now look at other ways that you can start investing in real estate to grow your portfolio.
You know that I spend my time investigating about the most ridiculous things, and I find out that buying a home decrease the probabilities of teenage pregnancy. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Yes, it is so crazy, and that's a real data. Like, if you're a parent and you don't want your teenager to be,
Pregnant, a teen.
yeah, you know who to call. All right,
Interesting.
You talk about the mission of NAHREP and how it affect or how it benefits probably the realtors and the lenders and the real estate professional group. But what does that mean for the family, for the persons who are like watching us and say like, I'm not a realtor? What does that mean?
For the community, the people, we know that networking now it's a huge thing, and so everybody's posting, right? Every time there's an event, meet and greet, and people think, so, oh, it's a realtor event, or it's a lending event, or what is this? What are they doing? So what's the message to the community?
So we have 4 core events here in Oregon throughout the year. We just recently had our February 20th event where we had a panel present about investment and the importance of investing to build generational wealth in our community. And we have upcoming events. We'll have May 7th in the Medford area. And then we have 2 additional events on August 13th this year, and then October 22nd in the Portland metro area as well. They're all opportunities to network, not just realtors or lenders, but just entrepreneurs.
So that means that NAHREP is not closed for realtors and lenders.
Correct.
No, it's very much open to entrepreneurs, right? If you look at our Latino community, a lot of us have our own businesses. I myself have multiple businesses. I'm sure you guys have them as well. So just being able to educate our real estate professionals is one way, but there's also that lateral connection to our entrepreneurs who do want to learn how to be able to take their money and invest it, or how to work together, right? There's a lot of businesses that we have that are lateral to real estate, whether it could be landscaping, construction companies. People are starting to have cleaning companies. There's so many different levels of business, and it's important to be able to network and connect and grow your business that way too. So it's not just for professionals in real estate, but the lateral, like who else can come, and home inspectors have been a really great value to our network for membership, because I might not know a very well home inspector, but maybe Sumara does, and hey, I have this connection for you. And so now we're building a network within the network itself.
That means we were having a conversation before we started recording about pasteleria. How do you say that? Pastry?
Bakeries.
Bakeries.
Like, how can you explain us how like there is a lot of businesses that can be benefit of this?
Oh yeah.
So bakeries, for example, they're not necessarily directly connected to realtors, lenders, the real estate industry, but as realtors and lenders, we participate in events such as open houses. And so for that type of event, we look for businesses that provide things that we can use, right? So pastries, cookies, cupcakes, whatever it is.
Closing gifts, birthday gifts.
Yeah.
Have you ever made an open house? What is the craziest thing that you have brought for your clients on an open house?
I've done cupcakes.
You have done the cupcakes.
Yeah.
She baked the
I probably
cupcakes
ate, like,
at
most
the
of
open
them.
house.
She said like she baked the cupcakes
So it smelled
with her
really
own
good.
Yeah.
trees in it.
We actually had an open, like a office opening, and I reached out to a baker that did custom cookies, and so she made cookies with our company
those are
logo.
really cute.
That's really
Company
cool.
logo. We had our company logo at the event, and so people appreciate things like that, and we like to kind of expose our small business owners that need the support, and we can offer that for them.
Carlos, we heard that you are the tailgater here, so why do you think that you want to join the NAHREP?
Well, I mean, these ladies made it very clear that it's an amazing opportunity to meet people from all backgrounds, and you guys, and we can all help each other out. I mean, it's essentially what it is, helping each other grow. So the way I like to summarize it is we're for the community, by the community, and that's exactly what I feel NAHREP is doing. So why wouldn't we want to be a part of that and grow with them?
So if someone that it's a lender says, I wouldn't want to be a part of, a group of more lenders, I'm not going to get business from there. What will you tell them?
I would ask them why they think that. I mean, we work directly with agents. Agents are, they're our best friends. On a personal level and a professional level, why wouldn't you want to nurture that, So I feel like it would be my duty to try to sway them to at least go to an event and see what it really is.
You heard that alarm, Xiomara? That's the moment that we have for our own sponsors. Ready? How we practice. If you're hearing this is a moment that you can sponsor. Okay.
Thank you, Maribel.
I like to touch a little bit more onto your question. There's business for everyone. So I feel like if you come with that mindset, like, you're not going to get the value out of it. But if you go in and, you network with people, you don't know, maybe a couple months after you'll get a referral from someone. I mean, it's a personal experience that happened to me. I met someone at a NAHREP meet and greet, and they sent me a client, and, we closed. Yeah.
So you might tell at the beginning that we are realtors, and we are like in a email thread that it has a lot of other realtors like saying all the time, hey, we want a mover, we want a cleaner, we want whatever. There is like all kind of things that people ask for that I think that
contractors.
Going back to what you're saying, that a lot of people who is going to be benefit from obviously the closest to the real estate profession is going to be like more business, but there are a lot of opportunity, as you were saying.
Yeah, a lot.
Can somebody you explain us? Yes.
I think something that Shirley mentioned before we started was when she, before she joined NAHREP, she was very shy, and so something that has helped her is to just come out of the shell.
Yes.
No, and you don't know, now she's like the social media.
She is the
like,
social
whoa.
media girl.
Her confidence level shot through the roof. Yeah.
So if anyone wants to join her in the committee, are you in the hiring process?
I am. I actually am.
This is one of the things. Now it's all about businesses growing. We know that the Latinos we are the ones that are in the 5th place. We're moving this country, and networking is got to be our number one move.
Yeah.
And if you're not out there, you're not doing your job. Yeah. And like she said, it was like, a big thing. And if you can get something like that to help you're in the winning side. For me, it was making the move to a different company, and it was a big eye opener, and that was a gain for me.
Yeah.
Moving to a company that, made me shine and made me see that networking was a must.
Yeah.
And that's how I see some of you guys' events, because I don't go to all of them. If not, I would say all of your events.
Yeah.
Right.
But networking for everyone. I mean, if a bakery can make it, anyone can get something out of it.
Yeah.
Well, plus we know that word of mouth is always stronger than any type of marketing.
Exactly.
So the more people that know you and your business and they can vouch for you, that's free advertising right there.
Yeah, and that's a great point, because a lot of our community, they trust in us, right? You start building that relationship. So they're going to go to you and ask you, who do you recommend? Who can I go to? Who can help me? And so you're the expert, and you're like, oh, I met Sumara. I met Shirley. They can go ahead and help you and take care of you. And you feel confident because you've already made that connection. You already know more about their personality, and okay, they're a good fit for this person, and just hand off. It's a great way to grow your business that way.
Mm-hmm. I've actually had, the opportunity to go to regional and national conferences where at first I was like, I'm kind of investing in this travel to other states to meet people from different areas, how is that going to benefit my business here in Oregon? Well, I've connected with professionals in San Diego, Vegas, Seattle, and so that has brought the opportunity for referral business from other states because people move. And so I've gotten a lot of referral business from other areas to the point where I've expanded my licensing, and now instead of being just licensed in Oregon, I'm licensed in Washington, California, Idaho. And so my business has grown to different states because of the connections that I've made.
Yeah. I've had the opportunity as well to be able to close families and help families move and relocate to Medford of all places. Or like, oh, I know I met someone, in Las Vegas. I met someone in San Diego and they're in Medford. So can you help them? And a lot of times not a lot of people travel to the national or regional events. So they like, Maida, can you help my client? Absolutely.
Do you see other type of industry on those nationals events?
Oh yeah, it's really big. Right now, there's different. How would you say it? Like there's different pockets of professionals. So you have the sports industry, right? Latinos in sports. Yes.
Wow.
So there's a study out there. Gary Acosta is really big on getting demographic information. And so one of them is us as Latinos like our entertainment, whether it's concerts, sports. It's very well attended and it's by our community. And so it's just bringing to light a lot of the Hispanic professionals in the sports industry. That's just one avenue that is now being brought into our national and regional events. And then you have the entrepreneurial side of it, right? So a lot of people who maybe started in real estate now have their own insurance companies, they have their own escrow companies, and they're sharing how they were able to pivot to other income streams. So it's not just about owning a property to build generational wealth, but what other avenues of income can you create so then you have your money working for you, because we're taught that you have to work hard for your money.
Yes.
But we have to change that narrative and see how our money can work for us.
That's very important that you touch that point, because we as a Hispanic community, we have that chip inside us, like everybody tell us, like, you come here to work hard.
Yes.
And we are one of the, I think, in my mind, anybody can take me out of that, but I think that we are the most the work harder people that I know. You are going to see us like under snow, under the sun, and working long time shift and all of that. But then we are the lowest amount of families receiving inherited wealth.
Yep.
That's demographic right now, that we just bought 441,000 homes in the last year. But even though we're still behind on the generational wealth, what do you think is that gap?
I think the gap is in the education piece, right? We learn from our parents, and our parents teach us from what they've learned through their parents. Mm-hmm. And it's very much, vas a trabajar duro. You're going to just work. If you want, money in your life, if you want what you have to work hard for it. But there's a different way that we weren't taught. So if we can, provide some of that education through things like NAHREP and events and just have little sessions, then the more people that attend these events, and now they can share and educate people.
Is NAHREP actually planning events for the community, or just for the professionals?
The goal right now, it's kind of a mix. We tried last year to host an event that was for the public, along with the real estate professionals. And I think it was just a trial and error, but it can be done. It has been done. So it's just a matter of fine tuning the pieces. How can we bring people in to learn about it and provide that content that could be of value for everybody?
Or at least pushing pushing us, the professionals.
Yeah.
We are
Here
like,
are the cards. Go out there and educate the community.
Yeah.
And this is the way. This is the correct way, because we know that there's a lot of people out there giving the wrong info.
Yeah.
And we all know that.
Or not all of
Yeah.
it too. Yeah.
Yeah, or not all of it.
so I have a question about the educational piece of NAHREP, but before that, this is a moment that we can like, let's put our heads together. There's a lot of smart people here, and we can put our heads together on how can we reach out to the broader community and put an event together for them. That will be like really cool, because what we are talking about, it affects more than just realtors, and it's like families and Hispanic and all what is happening right now. We need to put the narrative on people's mouth,
Yeah.
because we have to start changing what we say. If we don't change what we say, if we don't change our history from our own stories that we're telling, we're not going to change the reality.
Right.
So going back to the educational piece, what is NAHREP doing to educate this part of the generational wealth, and how also is NAHREP, especially here in Oregon, doing for empower, because I read that it's an empowerment, so we can have more sustainable Latino ownership. So how is the empowerment piece, and how is the educational piece?
So one part that has been in discussion, and they just brought it last year to our main national conference, which is a lot about wealth building, was bringing along our kids. So we could put all our kids into these rooms to be able to learn how to create IRAs, how to set up their own businesses, how to do things that are normally not really taught, but now they're connecting with other people in their age group to be the next level generation of learning how to do things on their own, right? Because if we tell them, sometimes they're like, no, I don't want to learn.
Yeah, no, that's
But
really cool.
if you bring, like I have a daughter that's 21, so you have kids that are 21, and why not put them in the same room and start building that mindset? So it's already in play, but now it's okay if we go to these national events, bringing it back, and it's just a matter of getting that information, feedback. What would you guys like to see? So then we can host our meetings to put these events together, and we'll put on whatever you guys want. These events are for our members.
We also have, so upcoming this spring, every spring break week, we have a national conference in Washington, D.C., and we have the opportunity to fly to Washington, D.C. and go to the Capitol and speak to our representatives at the Capitol and give them real life scenarios of instances that we've experienced here locally that can impact what they speak about regarding bills that need to pass. And so it's a great opportunity to advocate and be present and have your voice be heard.
Yeah.
That's cool. I know that the persons who handle the advocacy part, like the lawyer part, it is not here, but it is there like a position of NAHREP, of Oregon NAHREP, that like I don't want to say the word political, but more like in the laws. Is there something that you are advocating right now or looking for right now?
A lot of the advocacy, do you want to answer, or do you want me to answer?
Well, the advocacy.
Come on, Shirley, you know
the government director's position.
Government affairs.
Yeah. Well, recently our government affairs board director, she spoke in a courtroom. I don't remember what it was, and it was about making housing more affordable and down payment assistance programs. So policy changes. We've gone down to Salem to fight for, what we're using the land
Were
here.
you with a sign there?
Yeah.
NAHREP
basically.
was there.
Yeah, we were there.
Prices
I was there.
Ahorita.
Yeah, Realtor. It's called Realtor Day, and it's down in the Salem Capitol. And you hear all the legislators talk and about
missed
the
it.
bills going on in the state of
Wait,
Oregon.
is a realtor day?
Yeah.
Yes.
What does that mean?
The realtors
It's just
go.
So the realtors
it's
like
us realtors professionals. We can go down there and advocate and fight for these policy changes. Yeah.
wow,
So-
we're influential. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So there's a lot. There's a lot that we can do, but we don't really do it, right?
Yeah.
So we just, and it's because people are sensitive about politics, but you don't have to be on the right side or the left side. You can be very nonpartisan and just advocate for what it is that you believe. So for NAHREP, it's home ownership, right? So you're going to take all of the things that are impacting or preventing someone from becoming a homeowner, and you can truly advocate from it. And it could be just within the chapter, it could be within your city. There's a lot of different ways that you can get involved, but a lot of times just attending a city meeting and saying, here's the problems that exist within our community, how can we close that gap? And a pretty good example that I have is down in Medford, a lot of the builders, we don't have a lot of housing, and the builders aren't really incentivized to build, right? There's not enough
And
to put
that's
that
not
time.
just in Medford. Like
It's
that's
every
in general. It's
nationwide.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why the politicians keep coming and start like this narrative that they are going to advocate for housing and affordable housing and all of that, and then they put like this crazy amount of laws that stop builders. Like
Yeah.
you have to wait for 2 years, 3 years to be able to put the first pole on the floor. Like this is crazy. I
Yeah,
don't know what
but
to do.
now there's grants that are available to builders, and that just passed in Oregon to be able to provide more housing. And so, had we not been at the Capitol last year advocating and sharing that with our state Senate and saying, hey, maybe down payment assistance, we've been asking for it, it's not the route. Let's start with the builders at least and see if we can close that and bring the pricing at a more reasonable price, right? Or there's land trusts. There's different things that people are trying to do to bring affordable housing, but it takes us to bring scenarios, real life situations, and suggestions. If we don't suggest, then how are we going to know how to fix it?
How do you guys see NAHREP in the next 5 years? Like, I know you three are in the board member. Do you see yourself being a board member?
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you see NAHREP in the next 5 years? Because I see, like, I hear you guys, like these things, advocacy and going to DC and, great things happening. But, the chapter is very young. Mm-hmm. And so I'm just thinking, like, if it keeps growing, like, where do you see yourself 5 years from now? And how do you see yourself out there in the community and representing us?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as NAHREP goes, I mean, I see it just getting bigger and stronger, being more of an influence on our community and whoever wants to join it. And as far as myself, I mean, I hope that I'm right there along with them, helping their mission grow and helping our community. Really, that's really why we're doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. It's helping our community grow and educating them, because education is key. And with that, you create, you help the next ones in line, the kids who they want to. We need to lead by example, and it starts with the education we provide. And so I see ourselves growing, getting stronger, and helping.
Yeah. Well, in 5 years, I'll be out of it by then.
But do you still see yourself?
Yeah, I still see myself being a member. I mean, I believe in the mission. I love my community, our culture. So for me, like, giving back to our community, somehow helping them through homeownership, I think it's very rewarding. Because I'm a daughter of immigrants. So seeing my parents be able to buy their first home after so many years, like, it's just,
What does
it
that
was a
mean
very,
for you?
And you're so young too.
yeah.
Hey,
It was
we're all
very
young.
special because, they tell you that, you have to come here, work hard. But like all that hard work needs to be paid off somehow. So why not invest in real estate and, get your feet wet with that in that aspect. So I think what I want is our community to create generational wealth. Because like you mentioned earlier, we don't, they don't really leave like a inheritance to their like children. And I think that's something that we're missing. At least we need to create, have roots here in the United States and not just in Mexico.
We need to empower our community and let them
Yeah.
know we're not. Hector has a saying. He
We are
says
not a minority anymore.
No, not at
because
all.
we're in every single thread.
We are everywhere. We are on engineering. We are on lawyers. We are doctors.
We're everywhere.
We are on NAHREP. We are everywhere, but not just that. We are the third economical power on the world right now. $4.7 trillion.
Chills.
Baby just said that. $4.7 trillion.
Yes.
We import to this nation.
And a lot of us don't believe it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we still walk around thinking like we are just, we don't belong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's part of our mission as a podcast is to bring this story because we need to change that narrative.
Yeah.
We need to make people understand how powerful that is. We need to make people understand that not because you're working on landscape, you are not powerful.
Right.
Yeah, you are power.
You
have
belong
influence,
here.
You
Nara.
belong. Yes. Yes.
Now you, as the president, you're going to walk away in a year or two, but what
Right now, the vision is to expand, right? We're trying to reach across the state itself. And so we could do that by just doing things a little bit different. We started with our meet and greets here in the Portland area, but next month we're expanding into Salem and Medford, and we have those venues locked. And so simultaneously, there's going to be a day once a month where we're all connecting across the state. And so the goal is to not only just increase our membership, but if we can have those connections for once a month in these rooms and be able to share, right, different things that are
Is
happening.
everybody welcome to the meet and greet?
Absolutely, everyone's welcome. And it's just to be introduced to NAHREP, who we are, what we do, and the people that connect. And
If I don't know anything, I'm not a member. How do I know where this meet and greet happens? How do I get in contact?
If you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, NAHREP Western Oregon,
It's going to be here.
we post our events as they come throughout the year. Our meet and greets are generally on the second Thursday of every month at different locations. We like to open it up to different businesses, sponsors to kind of give them some exposure and connection time. And so, yeah, we're very vested in our community. We call ourselves
So
the
if
NAHREP
I
family.
have a business, so I'm going to be a sponsor, or can I be a host, or how is that work, that part?
you can do either. It just depends the value or the return on investment that you're looking with the partnership. So it could be something as small as hosting a meet and greet and just having a gathering at your location. Or it could be, I want to be able to sponsor and get some exposure on your social media at the events. I want to be able to have speaking time to share what my business has to offer to the members. So there's different tiers depending on what you're looking for.
That's good. Xiomara, you're always saying about the power of connections. What is it? Networking. That's the word. Can you elaborate more about that? Because we were discussing before this episode, like what is it going to be like? We want to talk about it. And she was like, you don't understand the power of networking.
Well, I said it before. I said it's, just being there. If you don't believe, if you come into a NAHREP event thinking, I'm just another realtor that, I'm not going to get any clients.
Yeah.
And, just by being there and being able to connect with others, that's a plus. You are already doing your job, because the networking, that is one part of our job as a business owner. And the other thing is social media. Nowadays, it's so powerful. I met this girl, or I know this girl, and she said, oh my gosh, I saw you with so and so. And you never know who's going to tag you. Mm-hmm. And that girl knows this other girl that you don't even know. And all of a sudden you are everywhere.
Yeah.
And so it's just so powerful that, if you are connecting with people, tagging the right, person or the event, the organization, and they tag you, and NAHREP is very good about it. You tag them, as long as you're not doing inappropriate stuff, they will repost your pictures or your video. And that's a powerful thing that they do. And I see a value just in that. That's an exposure to your business, to your personal brand. And so if you don't see that as a value for, whatever the membership is, then you are just full of ego.
It's the best $49 you can spend.
Hey, I just sold you a membership.
Samara, it's funny that you say that. I thought you brought it up because when I first started going to NAHREP, it was a little intimidating because you're in a room full of professionals and sometimes you just feel like the littlest person there. But once you start talking to just anybody on your left or right, you realize they feel the same way too. Mm-hmm. Or maybe their first time or second time or third. But but the point is that you're not alone, like you realize that there's people there that they genuinely want to help you see you grow too.
Yeah.
And that once you realize that that's what they're there for, they start, you start making these connections and they start tagging you. And then all of a sudden now, you get the referral business, or you start, now more people know who you are.
Exactly.
And it all started with you saying, I'm going to go and I'm going to check it out.
Yeah. And you start building trust within the community. Mm-hmm. And it happens so quick. You don't even know. Next thing you know, people are talking about you. Oh, you're famous.
Te miré en el Facebook.
Yeah.
But the other factor that we're not taking into account when you said that is that we are Hispanic, and all Hispanics that we are chismosos. So
that's another part. But
that's a misconception.
Exactly. Because I knew this guy
we
that
like
used
to know information about others. That's the difference.
This guy used to say, the Latinos like to stab each other backs. And I said, I just stay quiet. And I said that, for a moment I thought that could be true. But with time, I've learned that is so wrong. Mm-hmm. And here we are today to prove that it is completely wrong, because NAHREP is for Hispanics and it's to help our Latino community.
Right.
It's in, our Latino community out there, even if they were born here, most of them, they are looking for Latinos to help them buy a home, lenders. Yeah. Why? Because we understand each other. Yes. Even if you were born here, if you speak more English than Spanish, you are looking for that Latino person. Yeah. Why? Because it's that connection.
It's the culture, right? As long as you understand it. But The other part about, our community is that you don't have to per se be Latino or Hispanic, but if you understand and if you're willing to help and have the patience to guide them, you're forever loyal. You'll have a loyal client forever. It don't matter who you are.
I think that's one of our values, like loyalty is like in our veins.
Yep.
And if somebody changes, God forbid.
Everybody will know because we're chismosos.
Yeah. That's true.
And the other thing is, when you go to the events and, everybody's welcome, they feel the love. Because, we love them, we welcome them, and they love us back. They're like, oh, I just love being in a room full of Latinos.
It is good because when we say everybody's welcome, we actually mean it. Like, everybody's welcome.
We
like
do.
we don't see
Bring your grandma, bring your mama.
There you go. Yeah, and we see other organizations that they say everybody's welcome, but the table is right there.
There's a but.
I've learned that knowledge is wealth in the sense that the connections that we make keep us top of mind. So, for example, I've been in the industry at different capacities since 2002, and I've met a lot of people, and I know a lot of people in different areas of the industry, and so I get a lot of calls, and asking, hey, do you know a plumber, or do you know a realtor in Medford, or a realtor in Eugene, or whatnot? And so just being top of mind for people for when they need something, you're the reference that they go to for whatever they need. And having those contacts saved in your phone and saying, hey, yeah, of course, you need an electrician, I have a name for you, right? And so you're providing business to the businesses, and you're also being a resource for that client that needs that resource.
That reminds me of the last event we were at. This younger kid, he was talking about his dad and him started a general contracting business, and you could tell he was a little bit shy. He was a little bit, uncomfortable with presenting himself and everything. And so that's something that I asked him. I was like, well, do you do plumbing? No. Do you do electrical? No. HVAC? No. But you know somebody? Oh, yeah, I do. I know somebody for this and for that. Exactly. There you go.
Connection.
There you go, man. Yeah. So don't, it's like, don't say no, man. You are more powerful than what you think. Just got to dig a little deeper.
This is a perfect moment to say thank you, obviously, to Ernesto, who is behind the camera. He is the owner and CEO of El Llora Studio, and I cannot be more thankful for you to be here and believe in what we do. And also, Argelio, I'm sorry, Argelio, I didn't tell you to be here today, but I know that you're here with us in spirit. Next week, I'm gonna make sure I tell you, but he is always also helping us all the time. Also, Joanna Parra, who is always helping from La Cámara de Comercio and LBAC. And to all of you guys for being here, and obviously God and Xiomara and me. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Any last message to our professionals out there? This is your time.
There's so many business out there for everybody that, a saying comes to mind. Dice, este negocio es para compartir, no para competir. And I feel like it's true. And once you accept that, you realize that there's doors left and right. So there's no reason to, backstab anybody or have negative thoughts about anybody. It's, it's there. Just gotta find it. So
love it.
I want to encourage everybody to support us. Look up our website, sign up for a membership. It's $49 for 1 full year.
What?
And come
That's
see
nothing.
what
That's
the benefits are to connecting and building in our family, or in our familia. We're here to help everyone. We're here to connect. We're here to, encourage everyone to do their best, and we're going to help you grow.
And if you're new to the industry, this would be a great way to start making connections, get yourself out there, start building some confidence. It truly works. Right, Shirley?
Yes, it does. That's what I did. I got licensed. I joined NAHREP the same month I got licensed. And it really helped my business, just getting out there, getting my name, getting that exposure. I didn't join to get business out of it, but, that's a perk, eventually it will come, the return. And yeah, I mean, if you're just looking to be part of something, I definitely recommend NAHREP. It's a big family, and at the end of the day, we're just here to help our community, the Hispanic community, and be able to be that support system for our clients, because that's our main priority, our clients. Yeah.
And I just have to say, one of us is all of us.
There you
We
go.
are here to stay.
There you go. One last thing I want to say about NAHREP is that it is created by an Hispanic person. Like we often see these type of organizations that are behind, let's say, professionals on that is created by, like, I don't want to say that, but Americans, and we just be joined to it. This is created for Hispanic, to Hispanic, because of Hispanic community. So if you want to feel that meaning, that's another thing that we can do, because we can find that path together. And well, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And
Thank you.
we just have to
Thank you
for
so
having
much.
us.
Gracias.
It's been a pleasure.
Gracias.
Gracias y hasta la próxima.
Bye. Thank you.